Hey people, Intro here. 3v3 Typhon and Maya got ourselves a Chaos Invasion. For the Blue Chaos fellas, Gaius Baltar is a Chaos Lord, a durable and destructive hero. Working through objects can be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption fighting. In melee, got some Thousand Suns elite scheme alongside double Chaos Sorcerers, Deled and Fear. Fear also rocking the Thousand Suns elite scheme. These guys are offensive and disruptive heroes with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Red team then, who's going to face the Ruinous Power as well? Some Orks heard there might be a fight, so 24 shown up with a Kommando Nob, an infiltrating hero that shoots you, stabs you, and blows you up. Orky style begins with a twin-link shooter alongside Venjitron's Warlock, a melee spellcaster that leaps into combat with some powerful disruption and support. Looks like the Harley Quinn's elite scheme recolored. Eats some Doom Bolts and eats some Bolter Fire too, has to back off. And rounding off the teams, someone with a very good reason to fight some Chaos fellas. It's Miggs with an Ordo Malleus Daemonhunter. A spellcaster with strong support and control, starts off with a bolt gun on this south side. Happy to sit behind some heavy cover right now. Guardians here have capped this and are now idle. I wonder if Venjitron will leave them to the south to try and split and help. Heretics being shot up by a commando. Somehow haven't dropped a model yet. What's going on there, fellas? There we go. One of them fell over dead. Some corn worship going on, speeding up Gaius Baltar's units that are affected by it. Chaos Lord himself is hanging back for now. Probably wants to grab the Combi Flamer first, I would think, as the first power purchase. Guardians and the Warlock in the mid. Warlock's taking a bunch of damage though. May just be looking for Destructor. Wasn't thrown on the CSM. Leaps into combat and runs away. One of those guys died though. There's a good Doom Bolts amongst the Guardians and the Shooter Boys. These heretics are dead. Those were Gaius Baltar's. What is going on in the south? Creeping up the map, or down the map I guess, is Fear, taking the contested power. Looks like Miggs is waiting. I'm guessing they're waiting for Interceptors. Yep, Interceptors on the way. I mean, he doesn't need to push. All he's giving up here is a contested power point. No reason to push if you think you're going to do badly and maybe lose your natural power. No need to rush in that situation. Although the Guardians have been parked here for a while. They could have been doing stuff elsewhere. Shooter Boys here with big shooters. Kommando Nob still on the prowl. We got some Tzeentchian worship in the mid, and they are touching the power here. Interceptors are now on the field. The Venjitron is going south. So it's going to be 2v1 against Fear, leaving 24 2v1 in the mid. Oh, Warlock's got a Merciless Witchblade here. No grenades. Needs to be careful. Approaching a Sorcerer like that, you're gonna get Doom Bolted. Should have been more alive to that threat, Venjitron. A little bit sloppy, and a mass retreat. Did not need to mass retreat them, I don't think. What are these Stormtroopers doing? Stormtroopers running in. A big misclick, I think, from Miggs. Maybe he was trying to give an attack order and clicked on terrain instead. Warlock's got a Champion's Robe up. So they do push off Fear. I don't think those Stormtroopers had a Sergeant yet, because all the power was put into the Interceptors. So it's not a massive loss. Sneaky Sluggers. Really well repelled by the grenade barrage there. Nicely done by Deled. Gaius Baltar CSM joining Deled here. He's got double Heretics, double the CSM. He can do some really good work with this loadout, with this army. Double grenade launchers in as well. So a lot of firepower. You can get double... ouch. You get double Eternal War as well. That was the Assassinate. Taken out a Chaos Space Marine model. Now he's stabbing the CSM of Gaius Baltar. Also gives you the Tripper Shot. Can use to knock down and or stun something. Maybe stun that Chaos Lord who's got the Combi Flamer. Doom Bolts on the Eldar army. Shurikens in. So blobbed up here, Venjitron. Chaos Lord gets in there, grenade. Wipes out the CSM. A nice grenade from Venjitron. But did he lose something? No, these guys get away. Must have been on 4 or 5 hit points there. Double grenade launcher heretics. Can they trade with the shooters? Well, they've got a Sorcerer helping them out. Another barrage goes in. Does knock back those friendly heretics too. Gaius Baltar's down to just those heretics though. Gets Noise Marines on the way now. Sorcerer goes down. A sloppy engagement in the end for the Blue Chaos fellas. Sorcerer down. It's going to be hard to revive him from there maybe. Noise Marines is an interesting recovery from Gaius Baltar. Maybe Noise Marines and some more Heretics and then go tier 2. Meanwhile, in the south, bunch of dead Heretics. Fear has indeed lost a squad of Heretics. Daemonhunter barely alive. Oh, the Warlock's here helping out again. What's he up to? Oh, he's going for the VP. These guys can touch the power. Strike Squad do have their Tomes of Titan. Interceptors barely survived. So did these Purgation. There must have been a hell of a fight in the south there. Any war gear for this guy? No. Level 2 though. Oh, it's Raptors for Gaius Baltar to lead him into tier 2. Speaking of tier 2, Fear has gone tier 2. Shurikens in the mid with the triple guardians. Do they all have grenades? No, one of them does not have any equipment yet. Fully upgraded double shooters is a lot of Daka. Going to steal the northern power point. There's those Noise Marines. They have a sonic blaster by default. This can shake apart structures such as enemy generators or turrets, that kind of thing. Good damage versus infantry, and it shuts down ranged attacks too, including like chucking grenades and stuff. So it's really bad news for these guardians. Really bad news for the shooter boys as well. And with a bit of fire support, will mess up the sluggers as they approach. Doom bolts so blobbed up here again against the Doom bolts. Another bit of Doom bolts coming in. Chaos Lords in there. Raptors in there. A staggered jump suppressing infantry. Another mass retreat from Venjitron. He's got to be a little bit smarter about those approaches and how he positions stuff. Just standing in a big blob, getting Doom bolted and then retreating at the moment. Chaos Lord to kill the weak. Do the sluggers survive? Raptors jumping. Can't catch the sluggers. The sluggers did die though. Maybe a bolt pistol got them. Those guys had burners too. Fear has a blood crusher on the way already. That can cause huge amounts of problems here. None of these guys have anti-vehicle weapons available in tier 1. And they're not tier 2 yet. Purgation are bashing natural power though of the blue team. That's pretty good. Using that incinerator. This is Fear. I guess Fear capped the mid maybe? It's coming to defend the power now. Interceptors. They're going to get mobbed by the Heretics, but they're down to 5 models, those guys, so I fancy that fight. Rod of Warpfire is in for the Sorcerer. Heretics Doom blasting. Here comes the Blood Crusher. A melee demon with vehicle armor. It's a Bloodletter riding a Juggernaut. Very good mobility, but it's not the toughest thing around. Only 600 hit points and no melee resistance, so it takes full melee damage, this guy. At least giving minor melee resistance, surely. Like the default Chaos Dreadnought has and Devastators have and stuff. 477 to 361 on the VPs. Vindicare Assassin on the way from Miggs. Can use Turbo Penetrator rounds to shoot the Blood Crusher. Might need a bit more than that though. Oh, has a conversion beamer. That'll do it. Long range anti-vehicle weapon needs to set up. And does some good damage. In fact, more damage the further away it is from the target. Boom. Also slows on hit, and you can increase that slow by using Electropulse. That was only 2 shots. Half the health of the poor Blood Crusher's gone. It's a good unit for the Sorcerer though. You can infiltrate it with your worship, also warp it out of trouble maybe. Kicking off in the mid, lots of Daka. Warlock getting involved on the front line. Kommando Nob being sneaky around the back. Chucks a stun bomb in. Don't think he needed to do that. Oh, maybe, because there was an aspiring champion in there. I was going to say he could have just run around and started stabbing those guys. And indeed he is stabbing, but now needs to run. Raptors got on him. They've got their aspiring champion with a Demon Maul. Big old special attack from the Warlock. Very impressive. And he runs away. Not so impressive. Heretics getting way too close to stuff. Stick bombs chucked in by the stick bombers. Where are they? Oh, they're over there. Are the Raptors going to jump into this? They're so low. They jumped in just to get some suppression, and then they run. I was going to say the stick bombers are not bad in melee. They would have threatened those Raptors at that health for sure. Stun bombs into stick bombs. Almost wiping those Noise Marines there. 4-2-2 to 3-6-1 on the VPs. 2-1 for red. In the south, we've got a whole bunch of melee going on. Mark of Khorne, Chaos Space Marines, the Blood Crusher, and those Heretics. Purgation are going to need to leave here. Our Sorcerer has the vestments of the warp. And there's that Vindicare with turbo penetrator rounds. Almost taking out that Blood Crusher, trying to worship it now. It's not infiltrated yet though, it's still taking hits. There we go, now it's infiltrated. It's also healing up off the worship. Venjitron heading south to help out. He's been supporting this side quite well here. Markov Corn CSM gone. Looks like they got the 1 gen and the node. Didn't drop a model though to CSM. Look at that. Retribution in their path there from the Force Rod of the Daemonhunter. Now he's in melee mode. 386 to 361. Plague Marines up for Gaius Baltar. Seems like he typically gets them up in tier 2. They're a solid purchase basically all of the time. Very, very long time player, Gaius Baltar. A lot of these guys are actually. 376 to 361. Raptors again jump in and have to leave. Kommando was stabbing them a bit. Sorcerer's down back there. Should get revived though. And now Venjitron rotates mid. Got some Fire Dragons. Ouch. Blastmaster doing work from way back there. Stun bomb into stick bombs. Beautifully done by 24. Really messed up those heretics. Yeah, double stick bombers will tear them up in melee now. I think he used stun bomb from one and then the stick bombs from the other. That was really well done. Sorcerer back to his feet. Being stabbed already though by the Kommando Nob, who's in there level 2. Bunch of firepower in his face though. Mark of Zinch CSM. Double Mark of Zinch CSM I think. Yeah, but it is. For Deled. One of them's level 2. No aspiring champions though. Powerful anti-infantry weapons. Usually reserved for heavy infantry. Which we may see later from the Orks. They can get knobs and flash kits which are heavy infantry. And the Fire Dragons are heavy infantry too. Level 3 Warlock now getting the Heart of Darkness. 332 to 361 on the VPs. Raptors wipe. Can they bash power now? These stick bombers have been amazing so far. 24 has been using them really well. And now goes tier 3. Maybe they can get a full power bash. The Warlock should be sprinting up here to run interference, I think. Maybe he thinks it's a bit too close to the HQ. Uh-oh. Big hit on the Fire Dragons. Dark Flames on retreat path as well. And Fire Dragons wipe. Nicely done by Deled. I assume that was his Dark Flames. Oh, we have Circle of Summoning in there too. Spawning some Bloodletters. You can also reinforce around this, which is pretty handy. Tier 3 for Gaius Baltar. Chaos Lord is down on the VP basically. Miggs. Oh, lost his strike squad along the way, eh? He's got Interceptors and Purgation. Vindicare Assassin also down. Had a rough engagement or two. There's that Retribution. So knockback damage, and he silenced the unit so they can't use abilities. Which is pretty nice, although Mark of Corn CSM don't have any. They just rip and tear you apart. Blood Crusher again makes it out. Are those blood? Yeah, Bloodletters are on the field. Was confused for a second. Thought they were maybe from a Circle of Summoning, but nope. Those are permanent, real-world Materium Bloodletters. More Fire Dragons for Venjitron. Commandos in tier 3 for 24. Could maybe call some in as well to get double. The grenade launchers have been amazing so far for Deled. Been on point with those barrages, really has. I think they only lost 1 gen there, the red team. I think. Unless something was rebuilt already. Here's a Chaos Predator from Deled. No mark on it yet, and a rocket launcher's already in play, already doing tons of damage to the Predator. Is he going to go down though? Does indeed go down. Also had sneaky infiltration kit, I think. What is this? It's Bloodletters getting shot up. They decap the Rec Point note, and they decap the Power Look. Well played, Fear. Been very focused on the south side, but he's doing well so far. 2 here, says Fear. So blue team can push, perhaps overextend a bit against 24. Where are the commandos? They're right here. They have their Nob leader with a rocket launcher. Maybe looking around for that tank, but they need to stay away from aspiring champion heretics. Stick bombs. A few hits. Chaos Lord is back to his feet, level 2. Has Armor of the Inferno. Miggs able very quickly to get back this power point here. Interceptors do have their Justicar, and Venjitron is in support. Needs to be a bit more mobile than this, though. Looking for angles and stuff. Now it's a 2v2 fight down here because Deled has shown up. Bloodcrusher doing some good work. Sends the Purgation packing. There's no other anti-vehicle here, is there? Oh, there's the Fire Dragons. Back towards the mid. The Chains of Torment. Deled almost getting shot to death. I might still get... There we go. He's down. There was a lot of Daka. There we go. They defeated the central mass. And how do you get burned? Bunch of stick bombs are dodged. No mark yet on the Predator. Deled has got some noise marines of his own, but they are idle at the moment. What is this? That's the Bloodcrusher. Surely going to get finished off here, but he is targeting the Fire Dragons. There's the Demonic Roar. Bloodlet is spawning in from Circle of Summoning. Or Summoning Circle, whatever the hell it's called. Bloodcrusher's still around. Is it going to chase them into base? Might be worth it. Oh, did he get warped away? Gets warped back to safety by Fear. Really well played. He's got tons of resources here. Saving up for a great unclean one, I guess. Meanwhile, Chaos Fellas have pushed through onto this power. Let's see what these rocket launchers can do on rear armor. Down goes the Chaos Spread so quickly. It was really far forward. There's no reason, really, to use your tank to bash power when you've got this stuff, when you've got Plague Marines and stuff. Just keep your tank back. But I think really careful about pushing vehicles above the halfway point in Dawn of War 2, especially in a 3v3 where you can get hit from any angle, any time, basically. Down goes a Chaos Lord. The Plague Marines also wiped there. Everyone's in tier 3, or Venjitron is almost in tier 3. What is that effect on the Warlock there? Oh, there's that the Heart of Darkness working. Yeah, it looks like it was getting Mind Ward. That is nasty. Imperial Abyss set up by a Blastmaster shot, almost wiping the Eldar off the map. Miggs Interceptors. They made it out from wherever they were. What is this? It is... Oh, it's the Bloodletters teleporting in. 290 to 227 on the VPs. It's still close. 2-1 for blue. Venjitron trying to apply some pressure. Stop the blue team getting to the mid. Have a Mark of Khorne Chaos Predator now for Gaius Baltar. We saw how quickly the Orks can tear it down. This one will be faster though, with Mark of Khorne, also more damage. Grappling hook used to escape this time for the Commando. Do they still have Aspiring Champion Heretics? Yes, Gaius Baltar does, so they can spot the Commando and the Commandos with those fellas. But the Aled hasn't bothered. Oh, there we go. I think he just got him. That's the Chaos Lord, really far forward. If they push off the red team, maybe they can get a revive. And that will send Deled into level 4. Level 6 Sorcerer for Fear. Here we have a Tempest from the Armor of Damnation. Becoming increasingly more bad for you as it gets channeled over there. Commando's okay, I think. Yes, love the Daka. Into stick bombs and stun bombs. But no burner bomb. The burner bomb didn't go in, but that was really well played by 24. Beautiful chain of abilities there. Love the Daka into the stun bomb, into the stick bombs, and there's the burner bomb a bit late. 290 to 178. Last Master doing some good work still. Miggs with a Vortimer Razorback on the way. There's the Tempest again. Slows you, then silences you, and then does damage to you. I think it's plasma damage as well. Doesn't tell me though. Tome of Tranquility also in. Back towards the mid though. Chaos Spread still in a good spot. Blastmaster gets a good shot, but that is a whole bunch of bombs. And wipes them. That one bomb at the end wiped them out. Really well played, 24. Big old retreat though. Including some healthy stick bombers. 2-1 for the blue. Can red team get back onto the mid? Merciless Witchblade knocking down the Plague Marines a bit. Gaius Baltar gets a couple of them. Commando going around, trying to flank around the back of the tank, I think. Gonna get spotted by these heretics though. think the Sorcerer just got too close to him there. 290 to 138. There's the Great Unclean One for Fear. Foul Snare on the poor Daemonhunter. Warhammer Razorback is doing some damage to him, but take a long time for a Warhammer to take down a Great Unclean One. Over 6,000 hit points on this guy. Warhammer does good damage to all targets, but it's not like a DPS machine. It's really mobile and versatile. Does he dare get Purifiers to try and fight that thing? I'm not sure. A melee Dreadnought might be good because of the Bloodletters and stuff and the Mark of Khorne CSM. Goes for some Stormtroopers to help repair. Does have that Psychic Assailment, global, to help with the Conversion Beamer. Needs to be on that. It's got tons of red Miggs. Double Commandos now for 24. Venjitron down to Guardians and Fire Dragons. Saving up for an Avatar maybe. Here comes another Great Unclean One. Can the red team get back to the mid? Blastmaster gets another good shot. More stick bomb stuff. Going for the Blastmaster. Let the Galaxy Burns, forces them to retreat. Can they get this tank down? Commandos. If those guys got their volley, the other squad, they might have got it there. Warlock with the shield up. Gets a decap. Well done. Now run. Orbital coming in from Miggs. Commandos can try and clean things up as well. Chaos Lord goes down. Some decent hits on the nuke. That's from Miggs of the Ordo Malleus. Here comes the Great Unclean One. Fear rotating mid with Bloodletters and a big old Greater Demon. That grenade kill a bunch of Orks? I think it did. 290 to 83. There's Tempest. Now, does Miggs try to hit the south? I was going to say while Fear is gone, but the CSM is still here. That's not a good fight for the Interceptors, I think. Oh, it's pretty good. And they've got some backup, though. And they got the good disruption there. 290 to 83. Can they wipe them out? They've stopped fighting them. Oh, they've gone to tie up the Plague Marines, is right. Daemonhunter busy using Tempest way over there. Great Unclean One almost went down. Gets pulled into safety by Fear using Warp. That global teleports a unit, a friendly unit, to your commander's location, back to your hero, the Sorcerer. So he had to retreat to get the Great Unclean One into safety there. Well played by Fear. Avatar is on the way for Venjitron. It's a really cool sync kill between the Great Unclean One and the Avatar. I wonder if there's a chance we can see it here. Warlock. Oh, instantly runs away. Another mass retreat that wasn't needed, I think, from Venjitron. Been very retreat happy so far, leaving 24 alone. I think he's just letting these shooter boys die now. Maybe he wants to get flat. Oh, he's getting a Nob squad. Yeah, I think he's just letting the shooter boys die to get some population back. Here's a sneaky flank. They run into some heretics, and the Love the Daka was mistimed and misplaced, and they have to run. Nice idea by 24, but couldn't pull it off. And those guys got into trouble as well. And Imperial Abyss. A big misclick from Fear, it looks like. I don't think it did too much friendly fire, but it was obviously misplaced. I'm not sure what he was aiming for. Unless he was just trying to use a different global altogether on that spot. Not sure what it would have been though. Circle of Summoning maybe? So here's the Avatar. Super unit for Eldar that buffs nearby infantry. Allied infantry, of course. And is a powerful fighter in his own right. The Great Unclean One, meanwhile, damages nearby enemies. And has some nasty abilities, and is a good fighter too. Avatar can Wailing Doom stuff. Which maybe we'll see here. He needs to tie up those Plague Marines, I think. We got some Chaos Terminators up. Auto Cannon in play. Nob squad on the rampage. They're getting their Mina and Greeno. They already have their Nob leader here. Those guys can tear apart anything, so they're going after the tank at the moment. Look at that damage. pouring out of those Marcosine CSM. Very effective against the Nob squad. Having to pop their frenzy here. Hammers are up. Commando's not close enough to be doing any Pull Da Boys stuff. I don't think there. Oh wow, they're gonna wipe. Really well timed Nurgle Vomit there from the Great Unclean One of Fear. Almost wiped him. 2 Great Unclean Ones side by side. And their passive damage will stack. Just kind of like a pulse of damage every few seconds. Seer Council on the way for Venjitron. 290 to 27. Stick bombs. Look at them bomb. Great Unclean One taking a bunch of damage. Does Fear have the red to warp? I don't think he does. Which is probably why that guy's moving away. Oh hey, Land Raider Crusader for Miggs. Got some Hurricane Bolters for lots of anti-infantry damage. Also allows you to reinforce around it and get some health and energy regen. Chains of Torment doesn't stop the decap. Well played, red team. They've just pushed their way into the mid through sheer determination and perseverance. They got double commandos moving up. They're both very low though. Ouch. That's a really good warp fire by D-Led. And now has Tome of Subjugation. I was going to say, how long until we see Tome of Subjugation now that the Nob squad is up? Uses the Guardians to grenade the commandos, I think. Commandos run. Avatar of Cain being chased out. Gonna go down, isn't it? Goes down. The Great Unclean One of Fear barely got away. Down to 4 VPs, the red team. And is this? Some power bashing interceptors, apparently. Grey Knight Terminators on the way for Miggs. That could make a big difference. They'll be very effective against all this Chaos Infantry. And against the Great Unclean One. Nob squad back on the front line. Are they going to instantly get subjugated, though? Stick bombs. Yeah, could use the stick bombs to knock him over and break the subjugation, maybe. Seer Council. Got Distortion Field on them, but they're taking huge amounts of damage there. Now they get subjugated and led astray. They may not get out of that. There's the Tempest. Can it wipe out those Noise Marines? It does. Look at that. Not often you get to see... Yeah, they did wipe. Not often you get to see the Tempest actually wipe out a squad. 247 to 4. Red team keeping up the pressure. Nob squad just pressuring things back and then having to run. These guys are still power bashing. Okay, they did it. Now it's time to run, fellas. I don't think Miggs is paying attention to these guys. That was probably an order he queued up here to move them back. Yeah, you can see this is queued up order. Down they go. Orbital on the mid again. Fire Dragons here too. Fire Dragons will do a lot of damage to a Great Unclean One. Down goes the Chaos Lord. Stops the cap. 2 healthy Great Unclean Ones are there though. It's not a sight you want to see. Fire Prism on the way for Venjitron. Where are the D-Cannons? Where are the D-Cannons there, bud? Here's the Grey Knight Terminators. They have splash damage power melee halberds. It's triple Great Unclean One time apparently. Imperial Abyss from Gaius Baltar. Was mainly avoided by 24. Got some Eldar stuff though. Fire Prism is up. I assume it's just going to sit in the mid and offer some fire support. Is that the Mark of Khorne fella up there? It is. Retribution used to block the cap there. Nicely done. Won't work on the Chaos Terminators though. They won't be knocked back by it. Chains of Torment on the Commandos. Need to shoot that central mass there. There we go. Fouled Snail on the Commando. He might need to run. Does indeed run. Still have the 2-to-1 cap. The red team. There's that Fire Prism. As a dispersed shot that can knock back infantry. Good against this VP here. And a more focused shot for large targets. Oh, subjugated Terminators. Big surprise. One of them died. Just using it to get them into trouble. They do have the Psy Cannon. I assume their teleport's been used already. 186 to 4. There's that Nurgle vomit. Maybe get that Land Raider a bit closer so they can jump inside of it. There we go. Jump inside the Land Raider, and now get the Land Raider moving away from this guy. And away from the Plague Marines, and away from the Terminators too. Red team still have the mid. There's subjugated Nob squad. Just led them away. Some Tempest again. Need to keep that Land Raider moving, and it needs some support. Fire Dragons need to be helping here. Another Fire Prism on the way. Purgation wrapping around to try and get some shots, I think. There we go. Trying to keep as much distance as possible for maximum damage. Fire Dragons, hello? Where are they? Okay, now they're responding. They can maybe take this guy down unless it just gets warped out, of course. I don't see the warp. Down goes that Great Unclean One. That guy's gonna explode for massive damage, so that thing needs to move. Okay, it is moving. Oh, there's the game. A single cap was all that the Chaos team needed. They decapped this, and they decapped this. Barely decapped. Look how much damage those guys. Might have been did that subjugation at the end from fear clinch victory, because those guys were murdering the Chaos Terminators, I think. Big push at the end for the blue team. But it was close. We had a level 6 Chaos Lord, had Lightning Claws and Demonic Visage at the end. Sorcerer level 5 already led. That Tome of Subjugation, of course, also for Fear, level 9 this guy. Did really well. Level 5 Commando. Did some awesome plays, I think, with the Stick Bombers and the Commandos and stuff. Nob squad couldn't really shine here. Got halfway through level 2 though. Maybe some Calder Boys action would have been good for those guys. Level 7 Warlock for Venjitron. Double Fire Prisms at the end, nice idea. Surprised we didn't see any D-cannons though. And maybe look at idle these guys where they should have been helping a bit quicker, I think. And Miggs, the Daemonhunter, level 9. Did some good work. Tempest was doing some nice plays. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time.